All right, Facebookers, I just realized my mic was off. I was speaking to you for hours. And what we're looking at is a hot spot out here in the Woolsey fire. This is going to be out by Malibu, right off of Las Virgenes, right near the tunnels, right by the Malibu Creek area. Now, firefighters are out here. They're keeping an eye on it. By all means, they are battling these flames. One of the things, though, okay, you guys have heard of backfires. And if you haven't heard of backfires, let me just give you a brief explanation of what a backfire is. A backfire is when they'll actually come out and they'll actually burn brush off on purpose. So they'll actually go out to a fire, start a fire, to get rid of a area that has vegetation on it so that it won't reignite, or if the winds change, and they do it to clear the brush out of that area. I'm not saying that's what's going on here. I'm just kind of giving you a familiar what a backfire is. This fire out here is burning in a spot where if we look towards the north, that's towards us. So like we're over Calabasas-ish, looking down Las Virgenes Canyon into the Malibu Canyon area where that fire is. You can see that there are a lot of green on this side, but on that side it's pretty difficult to see right now because of the sun and the glare and the smoke. But everything on that side is pretty much gone. All that vegetation gone. So when they say the fire's got no place to run to, meaning it can make its way up that hillside, but once it gets to the top, there's actually no vegetation for it to grab onto. It can't make a run to some other spot. Also, it's interesting to look at. We've been watching a lot of fire, and folks that have been watching, especially on the internet, some people have taken like a real interest in this and kind of getting an idea of some fire behavior. It is the Santa Ana event. It is very windy, but look at that smoke. It is very, very lazy. It's just kind of huffing up, and it's not shooting up, hundreds and, maybe even 1,000 feet into the air. It's maybe 100 feet in the air down there. And that's because there's not a lot of heat pushing that smoke up. So what's burning is burning very, very slowly. We were listening. We hear the firefighters. We hear them talking about putting water on spots in the middle of the hill. They're basically kind of corralling this fire, making it burn out areas that they want it to burn out. Now, hotspot, definitely for sure. I don't think this started as a backfire. It could have, but I really don't think it did. This is an area that has been just kindling since Friday. Well, I usually always work the PM shift, even though we were here on Sunday, but it was a PM shift. And we'll have like total blackness, and then all of a sudden we'll see like an orange glow over here in this area. So this is a spot that kind of keeps reigniting, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that the LA County Fire, or the whatever portion of the fire departments are down there, could be Cal Fire, could be the Forest Service, whoever's down there battling these flames right now, they're working this area, meaning that they just kind of want to clear out some of this brush so that this doesn't reignite in a time when we do have howling winds through the canyon. So right now, a lot of smoke happening out here, maybe very disheartening for some folks if they see this. You probably can see it from the 101, but even since the time we've been here, that plume of smoke has gotten a little bit smaller. We got a show coming up at 4, so let me move the camera around. Brendan is my pilot today, and he is listening to me, or he's looking at the monitor, one of the two. But yeah, I appreciate that, Brendan. Okay, but let me show you this right here. Now, this is out towards the north. We're looking into the sun, and in this case, it's actually helping us. People might be like, oh, look, all that smoldering, that fire. This area has totally been burned out, but that's not smoldering. That is ash blowing on the hillsides. It is pretty pretty crazy, amazing thing to see. All this ash moving along down there. At some points yesterday afternoon, we when the sun was going down, we were over here and the winds were picking up, and you really could see like lines of ash just running down the hillside. Very, very bizarre. And this is like after the fire. This is one of those things that, you know, it's nature. And obviously, a lot of folks are probably going to be talking about just wait for the rains. Well, we've been waiting for the rains for a long time, but it might be pretty interesting out here in the Malibu area when the rains come. Going back to the actual flare-up out here again, now this is going to be Las Virgenes. This is the Woolsey Canyon. That's going to be Las Virgenes Road down there near Malibu Creek. And this is in the Malibu Mountains and Malibu Canyon area, sorry. And that takes us out to over towards Pepperdine and Pacific Coast Highway. Now, this is a flare-up that's been out here for a while. They've been keeping an eye on it. There's plenty of resources. If they were super concerned about it, they would just be hammering this thing with helicopters and water drops and maybe even FOS check. But right now, they're just basically corralling these flames just to probably burn out a section that they want to have cleared out. This is a hot spot that's been popping up all afternoon. I'm going to try to get to you guys and see if I can read some of your comments. It's pretty difficult today. It's we are up 6,800 feet, 7,000 feet, somewhere right in there, and no service. Sorry, no service. So yeah, I can't even see what people posted to my timeline or tried to post to my timeline. So, now I got an LTE. Let's see if I can get to CBS LA. For all my news needs, CBS Los Angeles. Uh-oh, my boss is yelling at me. Go ahead, sir, go ahead. For television, wow, moving up. Hey, we're in a piece right now. I just saw something about Ruda Chapa Jr. I hope I said that right. Talking about the shout out for the inmate firefighters. You know, I don't know if you guys pick up on that, but I don't separate those guys because in my eyes they are all super hard working, doing an amazing job out there, and working to keep keep this fire in check. And it is back-breaking work. Those guys, inmates or camp crews or inmate camp crews, they are all working equally as hard, doing a fantastic job out here, clearing brush, hitting those hot spots, and keeping everybody safe. So of course, a shout out to them, but I'd be amiss if I would just shout them out and not everybody else. So that's one of those things. But yes, definitely, I acknowledge them. I know they're out here, and I know that they're working very, very hard. And huge love for any of these firefighters, the camp crews that are on the ground down there. I got to play, and I'm doing air quotes. You can't see me. I got to play firefighter for an hour doing that. And believe me when I tell you, it is a young man's job, a healthy, strong young man's job or young woman's job, and I'm way past my prime, especially for that. Hey, what's happening? not a problem. Yep. Yep. We're looking at a flare-up, Malibu Canyon off of Las Virgenes. People are asking about the 118. 118 reopened in both directions. Yes. There's Dave Lopez. We're going to be doing live television here in just a minute. If you guys are local, KCAL Channel 9. Oops, that's my belly. Ooh, a little fire, some fire trucks. Mike Meadows. Mike Meadows told me that a long time ago. Fire, good picture. Fire with a fire truck in the shot. That's the picture people want to see. Some of the great folks that have gone well before me blaze the trail of gathering news. I don't know if Mike's got a Facebook page. I know his son does. He's a famous photographer. Well, local. Stand by. Whoop. There's nothing to burn, though. Well, that's right. Another one of those flare-ups, and this just shows you this fire, the Woolsey fire, not out yet. Now, this flare-up just occurred about 30 minutes ago. That's going to be on Las Virgenes. That's going to be the road that you see down there, and it's right by the tunnels. And this is going to be in the Malibu Canyon area. It's a flare-up. The fire department well aware of what's going on. They're keeping an eye on it. They're putting water on it, but they're actually using this this fire to basically clear some of the brush out here. So they're not doing that very aggressive attack. Right now, the winds may be picking up in some spots, but you can see the smoke right here. Very lazy, and it's not thousands of feet in the air. It's probably about 100 feet in the air, so there's not a lot of heat. So the fire department's down there right now keeping an eye on it, but definitely another flare-up this afternoon out in the Malibu area, and it just shows you this fire definitely not out yet. Live in Sky 9 over Calabasas looking at Malibu. Stu Mandel, back to you two in the studio. I would say you can orbit, but it's not. We can't because we're right on the edge, right? That was something. You know what? I guys on Facebook, I got to talk to Brennan real quick about work stuff. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And Brennan, that's how you get $1 million in a couple of months. So, only $1 million. I have no service, but I can still get my mail. I get some funny comments sometimes. Anyways, we're keeping an eye on this flare-up out here in the Malibu area. We have a show up right now, so it makes it a little difficult. And look right there. Hey, there's a big jet. Hi, big jet. That's a big jet. So, can I show it to you guys? You know what? I'm going to show it to you anyway. I hope nobody's taking us live someplace else. Yeah, he just kind of flew pretty much right over us. But that's a big boy right there. That's that double-decker thingamabobber. You know, I'm all about aircraft, but if you can't shoot news from it, man, I'm not that interested. Anyways, so that's that. Since we're kind of moving around, let's show you guys some of what has burned out here and what is still going on. Pointing the camera out towards, oh no, we're going to have radio issues again. Nope, we're not. Out towards Bell Canyon, Rocky Peak. Let me get my bearings right there. Okay, so this is going to be West Hills. So the fire started like right there, somewhere right up in here, right? No, that's not rocky enough. Way up there, yeah, it was up in these hills. Yeah, so there's the 118 moving both directions, by the way. Everybody's asking, is the 118 moving? And that other fire that broke out. So, wait, so that's Santa Susana. I think it was up here in this hills. Yeah, we posted a picture of where we flew over it when it started. It was already burning. Don't go there. We saw it, and I took a still out the window, and it was up in the Rocketdyne. So it's got to be over here. These are Rocketdyne stuff. This is Rocketdyne stuff right there. So it's somewhere up in this area, maybe behind that hillside right there. And then it just kind of creeped down the hill, took out Bell Canyon, started taking out this whole area right here. It burned very slowly for a long time, and we were all off at the hill fire out in Ventura. That's where a lot of the fire resources were and the news resources. And we peeked over here every now and then, and we saw what was going on. But by the time the sun started going down, the hill fire started dying down. And this one really started to take off. And then I remember it very clearly. A lot of folks out there, Facebook Live, hitting me up, telling me, hey, Stu, get to Oak Park. Get to Oak Park. I think there was a guy, Chester Brown. He was very vocal about that. And I said, well, we can, but we can't because of the fire and the smoke, but we should have. Later on, it made its way down in the Oak Park area, Calabasas, jumped the 101 freeway in several spots, and then obviously worked its way into Malibu, West Lake Village, and points beyond. Going to give you this shot again real quick before we have to go and do other stuff. I dig this shot. I'm sorry. I keep coming back to it. That's not for us. And basically what that is right there is some might think that's hotspots. That might be a hotspot right there. That might be a hotspot right there. But a lot of this is just blowing ash. This is just ash blowing along the hillsides. This entire area just devoid of vegetation. And that fire burned very, very hot and basically cleared all this hillside right down to the dirt. And so right now you've just got a lot of ash and a lot of hot earth out there. And so the winds come by and they pick this ash up and they just blow it out onto the ocean area. Folks, and this is the thing too. No, I'm not making a joke about what's going on, but it's one of those things. It's like we can't be grim and crying the entire time. And so the joke right now is that you're going to have smoked fish. Any of these fish that are caught out here in the ocean right now are going to have that smoky flavor because of all the ash out there. As we keep bringing the camera back, that's, by the way, that over there, that was Point Doom out in the Malibu area. Zuma is a little bit more. Maybe the hill's going to be covering up. Yeah, the hill's going to be covering it up. But that's where that famous llama picture was taken. It was over there by Zuma. And then we come back over here, and this is the hot spot that we're looking at in the Malibu Canyon area right off of Las Virgenes. Also, something else that I want to say real quick is I'm speaking for Brennan, but he might get mad right now. But I just want to say thanks for all the love that we've been getting, all the positive comments, all the, hey, we love what you're doing, thanks for being up there. The reality is we're not fighting the fires, but Brennan definitely working, and I just kind of sit here and look at pictures. So, but we love the love. We appreciate the good words. We appreciate the good words, and always, just know that we read it and appreciate it. Also, another quick note was somebody was asking me early on about taking in pets. And it was funny because I thought, there you go, the guy thinking, girl thinking, I thought I knew my wife and she would not go for it, but when I mentioned it to her, she was like, yeah, we don't have to keep them, right? We're just, and I was like, yeah, and she was like, oh, we could totally have done that. So anyways, if any of those people that were kind of passing those messages along or even asking me, and I didn't get back to you, the answer was yes. And you know what? We'll know this for the next natural event, that disaster where there's animals that need to be housed. At any rate, what's going on right now? Well, we are up above the Woolsey fire, continuing coverage, and we're looking at what's a hot spot, a flare up out here off of Las Virgenes. If you're local, you'll know it. It's over here by one of the tunnels near Malibu Creek. You can see the air bosses getting back over here. They might start hitting it. They might start, woo, yeah. This is what I love seeing it. I love seeing those guys. They make me think of being a kid and playing video games. Anyways, Super Scoopers are here now. I don't know for a fact if they're going to drop on this, and if they are, that means that the fire department wants to put that out. So we're going to keep an eye on them. They usually travel in twos. Somebody's going to say, duh, Stu. Yep. So we're going to keep an eye on them. Huge love for the Canadians. I actually want to see if I can get these guys on, do another podcast and get these guys or their boss or whatever. I mean, heck, I'll get the guy that checks the tire pressure to talk to him. But at any rate, these are the Super Scoopers. They park right next to us over there at Van Nuys, but there's that invisible airport line, and we're not allowed to talk to them. Hang on. Yep. Go ahead. We have an hour and 20 minutes on station, an hour 20 minutes on station. All right, you promised you would have been there on Sunday and you weren't, so let me explain this to you. The desk people figured this out. So it takes us about 15 minutes to get back down from here to Van Nuys. I know you're going to say, Van Nuys is right there. It takes us about 15 minutes to get down and 20 to 25 minutes to get back up. So, and then you do the math, and 10 minutes of fuel works great if the fuel truck's there. So just kind of keep that under your hat when you think about time. All right, copy. Can we see him do one drop? But I want to see him do a drop. It's a Super Scooper. I have literally not taped or seen a Super Scooper do a drop since this fire. I think we're going to Van Nuys. It just looks like we're moving slowly. We're at 7,500 feet. Oh, there you go. So, if we're seeing them do these drops, that means that they're trying to put that fire out now. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. And I bet you it is cool, too. All that water coming down on it. Alrighty, guys and gals, we're making our way back to Van Nuys Airport right now. There is the valley, looking beautiful as always. And since we're up this high, we can actually see the shoreline. Look at that. All the way down to beautiful Palos Verdes, PV. And the Santa Monica Pier. Everybody wants to see the Santa Monica Pier. I don't know why. LAX is about there as well. You got portions of Venice in the shot. And Marina Del Rey. Look at that. One of our pilots lives in the Marina Del Rey area. He must be getting paid very well. And going to pan over. And what do we see right there? Beautiful downtown Los Angeles. All roads lead to Oz. Why? What happened? That's what yeah. No, I know. That's the reason why I said 15. But yesterday, for real, that's what it was. I mean, we were pretty much going direct, and it was about 15. And, yeah, so. And then they're going to say, well, you had to watch that one drop. Yes, we will. Basically, the plan is Paul is asking us when we're going to be back. We're going to be heading out to back down to Van Nuys, and this is the thing. It's, you know, Van Nuys is pretty much in the center of the shot right there, Van Nuys Airport. And the issue is that we can't go direct because we're up so high. So we have to check in with SoCal. And like earlier on, I showed you that big jet flying by. And that's kind of what the deal is. So now they're vectoring us to keep us away from traffic, which is going to add to our time to descend, to get to the ground. And then, of course, to get back up, now we have to climb. Obviously, we're working against gravity, so it's going to take longer. So, oh, it's Brennan. Brennan is my pilot today. Brennan is, we thought no Brennan, but Brennan didn't put in his paperwork or his request quick enough, and so we have Brennan. What's the containment numbers? I don't know. I should know that stuff. I don't want to say the wrong numbers, but they are coming up. That is definitely for sure. The rule of thumb for a news guy is if you hear the numbers like anything over 15%, it usually means no fire. So I would be guessing we're probably right about 15%, if not higher right now, because we see very little fire out there. Somebody's asking, making a comment. This is where I got stuck. My phone locked up. One of the last questions is somebody was saying that talking about the cause. I don't know. There's a lot of internet stuff going on that I want to stay away from right now. But when we flew over it and we had that picture from when it started, it looked like just a natural start. You know, I don't know. I can't say for fact. I'm just saying what it looked like. So, just making our way back to Van Nuys Airport, everybody. That's what's going on right now. That's the area where there was a fire earlier today. That was off the 118. There was a lot of fire making their way up that hillside right there. You can see now they got a couple of camp crews down there working on some of the hot spots, but that fire definitely out. Folks that aren't from California that might be watching these shots right now saying, well, my gosh, there's like, how can you have a brush fire? You don't even have any brush, or a forest fire. You don't have any forest. Well, there is brush on those hillsides, and you see the pictures, what it looks like when it starts going. So, but I was the same. I was in that same boat a couple years ago, more than a couple of years ago. I was always kind of curious how that happens, but it does, trust me. That's the Porter Ranch area as the camera's kind of swinging back across. We are waiting on traffic. Waiting on traffic. That's why we're still hanging out here. And what this traffic is probably some airplane making his way into Santa Monica, or maybe it's that one right there. Oh, he's going into Van Nuys. So he's got to go around. He's got to get into the traffic pattern and go around. So that's what we're looking at right there. That's why we're waiting. Got to keep that guy safe. Got to keep us safe. Groovy people coming down to the valley to hang out. All are welcome. Wow. Yeah, well, the fueler better be quick. The 101 is open, Chewy. We know that. It happened last night. Now, not all the off-ramps are open, though, especially through the burn area. So keep that in mind if anybody's going to be like, oh, everything's back to normal. It's not. Freeways open both directions, but off-ramps not open. Not all the off-ramps. Some off-ramps are. We're waiting on planes. They're holding us. This is what makes it so difficult. Box Canyon out here in Chatsworth did really well. There's probably almost no fire out there in the Box Canyon area. That's super cool. Nikki, the fires, you know, every now and then there's a hot spot. That's a hot spot right there in Malibu. They're really starting to work to knock that down. It's just a lot. And, you know, that's the thing. I mean, people look at that and go, oh, my God, look at all that smoke. You have no idea. It's like maybe a 16th or 32nd of what it looked like a couple of days ago. That's just a tiny hot spot burning in an area where there not a lot of anything. There's just some vegetation. But they are working to knock that down. All that down there, that is winds blowing ash. That's what that is right there. So we have a lot of that going on right now. As far as bulk of the fire, yes, it's knocked down. Containment numbers, they're going up, but the fire technically not out. This is where people get really frustrated with the firefighters is because they're like, look, there's no fire. I want to go home. And you know what? I get that. But there's embers, and there's a process they have to go through. They have to double check. They have to make sure that if something, they don't want to let people back in and just have the fires, reignite or something along those lines. There you go, Joanne. Joanne's saying 20%, so that falls into the into what we were saying earlier on. Oh, Sonia, don't get on anybody. Which side is Sherman Oaks? Sherman Oaks is way over here. This is the Sherman Oaks area. Pretty much everything in that shot is, well, probably a little Encino, Sherman Oaks. Why? Sir, go ahead, sir. All right, well, we just got cleared by ATC, but are we staying up or not? Yes. There's no way we can land and be back at the top of the 5. There's no way we can land and be back for the top of the 5. And this is what we were talking about yesterday. This is what's been going on. I mean, we are right there at Van Nuys, but we can't go direct, and we also have to climb. So, fuel, when you release us, we have travel time, a lot of travel time. No, it's not. No. Cavial. No, that's not where I was. That's not what I meant. So we're going back to the fire because we couldn't get down to the ground to get fuel, because it took too long. So we're going to be doing the top of the 5. I'm guessing it's going to be Jeff and Pat. I'm not 100% on that. Love the Pat. Love the Pat. And Jeff, solid guy. And so we are going to go back to the hotspot, probably do a little, hey, look at this hotspot. And if you guys are local, now it's CBS Channel 2 time. Top of the hour. It's just 30 minutes from now, so it's not really top of the hour. So Julie, I don't understand what that means. Somebody's asking me what the mountain range is way out in the distance. I don't know which distance you're talking about. No, they can. I've watched them. They can. Maybe it's too choppy. It is a little choppy out there. Maybe there's still hot embers in that water, so they don't want to reignite anything. No, don't want to drop out embers on there. Remember that one time they found like a scuba dude, like out in a forest fire because, you know, they grabbed water. That's all. Those are all fake. That's fake stuff. Fake. It was a bucket, man. It was a bucket. He's just hanging out, flying around. Management. Middle management. Bum 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 ba dum bum ba da da dum. Oops. Oh, 2018. All right, Facebookers. Sorry about that. Just doing other stuff. Sorry. Gubernatorial. It's fun to say. Jim Fisher. Could somebody tell Jim Fisher that I'm going to go to the left so you guys can see what's burning in the valley? Let me show you what's burning in the valley. There you go. There you go, Jim Fisher. You want to see what's burning in Calabasas and over in Newberry Park? Get rid of that. There we go. Chris, I don't know where Decker School is. I'm looking behind us. I want to make pretty pictures with the belly. Making pretty pictures with the belly. So if folks are looking at this right now and going, oh, look at all that smoke, this thing's still burning. No, that is ash. That is ash that we're seeing that's being blown across the ground and out towards the ocean. That is a little bit of fire that's out in Malibu. The fire department down there, fire departments are down there on the ground. Now, the reason why I get vague like that, especially on a fire like this, is I really don't know exactly what fire department is down there on the ground. They are probably working on the county frequencies. Might actually be LA County Fire down there, but I can tell you that they know about this fire. They're keeping an eye on it, and they actually had a couple of water drops because it was kind of getting out of hand, but I think they're actually using the time in this fire to actually clear some of the brush out here right now. So, Jimmy, thank you. You knew I was joking. I was just messing with you. So anyways, so they're clearing out a lot of that brush right there. When they say they're doing it in a controlled way, it's because they just want to get rid of that brush that's in that spot. They want to do a complete burn because around there, there's nothing that it actually can what? We're dropping down? For what? How's that happen? They know we're not a firefighting aircraft, right? All right. I'm in love. Jonah, they have. They really have. It's amazing work. Leslie, so the containment numbers, people are asking about the containment numbers, and they're saying, look, it looks like it's out. Why it's only 15% contained? Well, that's one of the reasons why they don't allow people back into their homes right away. They actually have to physically go around. A containment number is just that. It's a number of how far around the perimeter they have made, where they've confirmed and made it so that there is no fire and the fire could not spread if it came back up. So they're basically building a line or checking a line all the way around the fire. And that's the reason why it's the containment number. And with that containment number, that's, so when it's low, well, we were talking earlier on, I probably didn't hear it, is a news rule of thumb is if you hear something like 15%, usually that means pretty much all the fire is out. Any numbers higher than that, you can guarantee that most of the fire is out. But that doesn't mean that the fire department is done. They have a lot of work to do. They've got to go out there. They've got to go make a physical line around the fire. And that's the actual containment number. So that's the reason why they won't allow people back into their homes, because the number is only at 15%. And when they make a containment line around those areas that are populated, then they will be allow people to back into those areas. But that's one of the reasons with a containment number compared to how much fire is actually going on. We are actually dropping down. We got a clearance down to 4,000 feet, which is huge difference as far as the picture's going to go and what we can see and how we see things. And also airspace. Now we're going to be below the Bravo, and that means we can have a little bit more freedom where we can move around and get angles where we want to see what's happening. So we're looking at a hotspot that flared up off of Las Virgenes Canyon over by the tunnels. This is in Malibu Canyon, and this takes you out toward, oh, we missed a water drop, son of a gun. Anyway. That's Pepperdine there on the other side of the hill. Well, we won't miss this water drop. Yes. North of Pepperdine. You could say that. No, it's not Canaan. This is Malibu Canyon, Las Virgenes. Ari, it's not really. They were doing water drops on it here earlier on. I know what you're thinking. We were thinking kind of the same thing. I think it's kind of like they're trying to do something like that. They've got a fire that's burning out here, very slow. So they're taking advantage of it to clear some of the brush off this hillside. Well, thank you, Bill. I know somebody else was asking about that. Bill is making a comment right now that Saddle Peak Lodge is safe. That helicopter will not do a drop. Nope. Middle management. Well, we can't really show Lake Sherwood anymore because we dropped down to about 4,000 feet, so we're about 3,000 feet lower, and we have hillsides in the way. But we can show you this great picture of firefighters down there on Las Virgenes, and you've got the creek down there where they may or may not be pulling water from to fill up the water tanks. But you can see a number of firefighting vehicles down there, most of them water trucks and fire trucks. And they're pulling water from down there and keeping an eye on this fire that's burning out here by the tunnels. Simon Desk letting you know that we've been able to, or we've been cleared way, way, way lower. And we get some pretty nifty shots right now. Don't know how long we can stay here. Yep. Yep. They cleared us about halfway down, or we were about half the altitude that we were in the TFR. They cleared us in. We didn't break any rules. And we're getting some nifty shots, but I don't know how long we can stay here. No, a news van just drove right by. I'm being serious. I thought it was ours, but yeah, it's just Las Virgenes. Hey, Booth, what's up? Should we be switching? Sure, no problem. Okie dokie. Cup. All right, cool. Somebody's writing names for my chili. And you guys can follow me on my page, Stu Mundell here on Facebook. Got a couple of different pages. Got a personal page, and it's kind of weird. I got a work page and a fan page, but I'm usually on my personal page, even though my wife kind of wanted to separate the two earlier on, but it never really happened. Oh, I don't hope that's not for us. I'm hearing radio traffic. Oh yeah, happy Veterans Day to everybody that's out there. Sky snitch surprise. So happy to all the veterans out there. I know my family thanks you for your service and your sacrifice. Brennan, actually a service and sacrifice family. So, you know, this is an interesting shot right here. I didn't want to take away from the veteran moment, but there is Edison or Edison-like crews bringing in power poles that have been damaged. A lot of infrastructure was damaged in this fire as well. They have to do a lot of repairs like that before they'll allow people back in also. So that's something that we're seeing right there. Yeah, I know you weren't. I wasn't smart enough. Right. No. I don't think it came out like that. Brennan just wants to make everybody, it's sure that everybody that he was not in the military. Right. I'm on the same page. I did not serve. I would love to be a correspondent, though, but I did not serve. Oh, look at that. Just park right there for a minute. Whoops. You're a wind change. I want to put the camera on autopilot. Where's the autopilot button? Oh, wait, there is no auto hover button, right? Whisper mode. Uh-oh. Here come. Uh-oh, they're going to take our tease picture. No. Got to wait for a commercial. Two seconds away from me. Are you right outside the door? I'll open the door. See what I did there? All right. Photo time. Photo bomb. Bomb. Oh, wait, what's doing video? Come on. These new phones, they think they know everything. You know, someday I'm going to go back in time and tell my younger self, future is about the same. The phones are really cool. Woo, look at those waves. You can like see the texture of the ocean right here. Look at that. Oh, well. Ocean was cool. Everybody else got it? Oh, yeah, we got the ocean. It's not there anymore. Oh, come on. Wow, it thinks we're in Malibu Beach. They're using tape. We need to switch to 5. Pictures only, standing by. Bum, ba, da, dum, bum. Hey, TOC, just letting you know we are on Freak 5. I don't... just letting you know we already switched to Freak 5. I hope we're not in the show, because if we're in the show, I got nada. I copy the booth. I don't hear the show. Okay, cool. Okay, copy. The best pictures. Even though we're losing light quick out here. Copy up. Understood. Not talking, just pictures off the top. We are Malibu Canyon. What? Malibu. Okay, minute and a half. Copy all. Malibu State Creek Park. Yes. You're right. Oh, we're getting smoke. Brennan, can you get a little lower and blow that smoke out of there, please? I said, can you drop down and blow some of that smoke out of there? Are they coming back? Where are they at? That's, yeah, Helco. That's 21. Oh, there he is. Oh, this might be perfect timing. Could it be? No. Yeah, the other one's going someplace else. Standing by. That's right, and this is the first time we've actually got Sky 2 this low where we could actually see the activity happening out here on Las Virgenes. You can see the tunnel right there. This is one of those stubborn hot spots. There was a flare-up earlier this afternoon again, but it continues to burn out here, and this is a spot that they been keeping an eye on. You can see the number of firefighters down there. Now, they actually were hitting us with water just moments ago with their helicopter. Sometimes they're just letting it burn to clear some of that brush, but you can see all that phosgenic out there on the line. Now, this is only one hotspot that we've seen out here in this entire Woolsey Canyon fire. Right now, though, this is a spot where there's a lot of activity. Now they started to put water on it. They really want to put this thing out. Live in Sky 2 over Malibu Creek State Park. I'm Stu Medell. Back to you two in the studio. Never fails. Never fails. Never fails. Never fails. Never fails. Never. I should be better at this. I should be shutting that stuff off. All right, we should go get fuel. Simon Desk, we should get fuel, right? I hope we're not live on KPX right now, because if we are, they're going to be very upset. Somebody said live on KPX. But if we are, we got to go get fuel. No, it's something else. What do you mean I'm no fun? Dana, that is the plan. That is the plan. Point the camera down. Okay. What are you talking about, Mikey? Ripley. Mikey Ripley says I'm having a bad hair day. I think I'm having a good hair day today. Yes, Jason, that is the plan. We are going to go get some fuel, and then we're up flying around, and my guess is that we will continue live. I can't really call it fire coverage because there isn't much fire. Woolsey Canyon fire coverage. Michelle knows my wife. All I read was something like somebody said something. Michelle said his wife will tear you apart. Why? What do you got at Van Nuys? Why should I check Pulse Point? Basically, I have all my stuff locked up on county. If there's a physical rescue or if there's no fire, I can tell you that, Van Nuys. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm reading too many tweets and not paying attention to my camera. Sorry. Sorry. Pete, so do I. You know what I miss, Pete? Other breaking news. That's what I miss. I miss the days when we would, right now, I probably would be happy to be on a perimeter or a suspicious package. Right. Oh, I guess there's an aircraft in distress. There's a standby out there by the airport. Student pilot with a low oil pressure light. No, that's my guess. It's me being sarcastic. Yes, I am. I am reading the. I'm trying to. I mean, it's not an exact science at all. I'm running the camera. I'm reading these tweets. I'm listening to scanners. I'm talking to Brennan, trying to keep him. I'm trying to be his life coach. Thank you, Kelly. Look, the numbers are dwindling. We're going to knock this down pretty quick here before they kill us. Stu_Mandel, Twitter. That's probably the best way to interact with me. Yes, I'm here on Facebook a lot, especially Facebook Live. I said KCal. Hashtag CBSLA for all your newsy needs. Brennan is Rotorhead 8. That's my pilot most of the time, but Rotorhead is 8. That's his handle. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him on Twitter. We're going to be landing here shortly. Look us up. Try to get in contact with us. Both of us try to interact as much as we can with the folks. I also have an Instagram. So does Brennan. It is, it's a mixture. And, I don't have an official work page because work is my life and life is my work. Don't get into where that quote came from. Anyways, we're making our way back to Van Nuys to get some fuel. We'll be back up later on. Don't know if we'll be back up on Facebook Live right away or even later on today. But if we are, we'd love to interact with you guys. Also want to give a shout out to everybody who's been giving love through the fire, to us, to the firefighters, to the families. Some people make jokes about that, but I really think it makes a difference. I know it makes me feel a little better when I see something like that. I also know that Brendan feels the same way too. Mary, you're right. I stumbled across that. You got KCAL, we got CBS, and we also feed other stations as well. But you know what? I huge love for KCAL CBS. So anyways, do I fly the helicopter? No, I do not. Brendan flies the helicopter. That's rotor at 8. And I sit in the back seat. What else did I want to throw out there? That's about it right now. Going to be doing a chili cook-off. I don't know. It's not really quote. It's not a Stu Mandel event, so maybe I shouldn't talk about it here. We'll do a Facebook Live with my wife and I. The fires, yes, they are still burning out here. Woolsey Canyon, technically still a fire. And that's about it. We're going to be landing shortly. I see one of our competitors making approach to the same place we do. And we'll be on the ground here shortly as well. I always say it, we love the love. A follow on Twitter would be great. And like I said, we try to interact as much as possible. Mary, we're not going to eat right now. We're just going to grab fuel and go right back up. We're probably pretty much flying all the way to 6:30, and then they're going to want us over that black hole of what was a fire at 8. So, yeah, it's going to be a long couple of days again. And this week just starting. There are the Super Scoopers. That's what I was talking about. They're based right there. We could, if there wasn't that invisible airport line, we could walk across and say hello, but we cannot because there's an invisible line that we cannot cross. Yeah, I wonder if they're just shutting down, though, because it's dusk, right? That's not an LAPD chopper. That is 29FX. That is a competitor's backup helicopter. There's an invisible line, and we are not allowed to cross it. I'm being serious. Those are airport rules. I think CBS in New York is Channel 2 as well. We're going to knock it down. Thank you, guys. We love the love. We'll talk to you guys soon. 9 Hotel on the ground. Van Nuys, may we knock it down.